Hi, this is Sam from Val Group, where we give advice to people wanting to sell their business, buy a business, or know the true value of their business. Today, we are going to explain how one goes on about selling a business in the UK, which is a topic we deal with on a daily basis. Selling a business isn't an easy task, and at the moment, there's a lot of baby boomers and business people who are coming to the end of their working life and the working career from what we have been dealing with in the past 2 to 3 years mainly. And these people have mainly three characteristics. Um, First one is that you could say, or you can say, that they are entrepreneurs through and through. They started with little money and resources and have been working all hours under the sun for the past 20 to 30 years, right? They have come into an end and they are getting old. And up until recently, they have not been thinking about anything else but supporting their family. The second characteristic would be their family. The wife or husband has been pressuring them in order to cut down the hours they've been working and they've been doing, or even retire. But nothing really tangible has happened so far. You may now have grandkids if you're watching and want to spend more time with them, or maybe abroad or on holiday really, and you just want to retire. Some of these people have no succession planning. The younger generation, their kids do not want to take the business over, and maybe the staff don't want to be pressurized or want even the pressure of running a business. So you, to a certain extent, may feel trapped and with no options or with no hard, tangible options. So how do you sell a business? Selling a business is indeed a top-line decision. It's a strategic one. And oftentimes you make a decision like this, maybe list the business with a broker or have a conversation with somebody about selling your business or the prospect of retiring, and then just forget about it. You have one conversation, one action, and then forget about it. You then go back to running your business, servicing customers, and making sure everybody gets paid on time, which are all B or C level decisions rather than top line decisions, strategic decisions. From the very moment you think about selling or retiring, this has to become a priority now. You need to commit to it from day one, because if you don't, several more years will pass by, and so will life and, well, maybe your health. Remember that the worst time to sell a business is when you need to sell a business, because business buyers aren't ordinary punters. They are business people just like you or just like me, and they are as savvy as you are. So you need to prepare early. These people are sophisticated buyers and sophisticated investors. So there's several things you need to do to sell a business. And the first thing I recommend you to do is give your family the talk. This is when you get your family and maybe all the shareholders involved, and you let them know that you've had enough and you are looking at selling the business confidentially, obviously. Confidentiality is very important because you do not want the staff to get rattled by anything, or maybe for a customer to get scared and pull the plug on your services or on your products. The second thing you need to know is the value of the company. And we value businesses all day long. Having the right valuation done for your company is fundamental, because oftentimes brokers and accountants offer unrealistic expectations in order to gain something, right? Like a fee or a subscription or a retainer fee. So make sure you know, one, the value of the business, and two, how you've reached that valuation number or numbers. The second thing you need to look at is what you're selling. Are you selling the assets or are you selling the shares of the company? So if you want to value your company, visit the link below and send me a message. The second thing you need to do is prepare your back office. Make sure there are processes for most things, if not all. Make sure there's a hiring manual, a business plan, a place where all the passwords are stored. Make sure everything has a system, if possible, a process and a chain of command that doesn't really stop with you. So make sure that nothing is just up here, but typed out and documented. That is a real big thing that I see when I go and work with people wanting to sell their business. The next thing I would recommend you to do would be to start separating yourself from the business as much as possible. And this one is a biggie. In most occasions, whenever I get hired to look at a company and assess its sellability, I tend to ask the owner operator how much they do on a daily basis. And at first they tell me they don't do that much. But after a bit of digging, I find out they do everything or a lot more than they initially told me they did. They open the business, they close the business, they pay the big invoices, they take the bins out and so on. They deal with staff problems, everything, right? So why is it so important that you separate yourself from the business if possible? Well, this is very simple. Because anybody wanting to buy the business will look at all that you do, your years of experience and your daily tasks, and think, my gosh, I cannot possibly replace this person. They are truly invaluable to this business. And obviously, people buying a business do so through the lens of an investor, not an entrepreneur. They want the best return on cash possible. So you need to start separating yourself from the business, or look at ways to separate yourself from the business so you are not the 100% IP shareholder in your business, right? So moving forward, once you find a potential buyer, and we help people get buyers for their companies, and if both parties agree to go ahead and explore the sale, one enters an exclusivity period after signing heads of terms. And heads of terms is an important document, and it's a short document setting out the broad outline of the parties' expectations, understanding and agreement of the key terms. From here, the buyer normally has 90 days of exclusivity. And then we enter due diligence for where there's three main types of due diligence. The first one would be financial due diligence. Is the debt sustainable? Are all expenses accounted for? Do bank receipts match what's reflected on the cash flow statements? That kind of thing. Legal due diligence. Are all employees above minimum wage? Is the leasehold of the building correctly set up? Just making sure everything's right from a legal standpoint. And this will be a solicitor who will want to carry out the legal due diligence. Commercial due diligence, which is very, very important, and the one the buyer is most interested in, right? Making sure the company is viable, researching customer records, average customer spend, lifetime customer value, marketing processes, sales funnels, that kind of thing. Everything that kind of makes the business tick on a daily basis. If you are the one at the receiving end of due diligence, you will probably have to brace yourself from a line of inquiry up there with the Met Police sometimes, because the buyer will want to turn every single rock, not rock but pebble, and haggle down the price if they find inconsistencies. And you don't want that. What you want is to have all your ducks in a row from day one, so everything goes smoothly. One thing I would say is that most deals get done on a deferred consideration basis. Nobody is going to hand you £500,000 or £4 million on completion. You, the vendor, will likely have to agree to flexible conditions for the sale. If you are selling to an individual, it may be hard for them to borrow large sums of money. So be open to flexible terms and a moderate interest, which probably benefits you. So you effectively become the bank. If I were advising you, we would have the conversation early on about how much you'd be happy with on closing day and walking away with, and then agreeing terms for seller finance at a later date. I'd also tell you what to say in the conversations to have with the sellers and with the buyers, rather. Because sometimes people say things like, oh, we have lots of happy customers, or the staff are very happy. And such affirmations, if they aren't true, or someone somewhere complains at any point or something happens, buyers get scared. And you don't want buyers to get scared. You want to be as transparent and cooperative as possible. And you don't want to drive people away. You want the confidence that somebody's going to step in your shoes and operate the business as if nothing's happened. So if everything looks good and we're still in good spirit, you can sell your business weeks or months later. Hopefully, the sooner the better. But remember that 80% of businesses for sale on the market via brokers do not sell. Just like your product or service doesn't sell itself alone, and just like nobody has rocked up with a checkbook or PayPal or whatever people use to pay these days to pay your or my car, businesses have to be proactively sold and proactively advertised and proactively approached and spend time on in order for them to be sold. So if you want to sell your business, why not book me in for either a call or a visit at your premises? I can definitely help you. I can be as involved as you want me to be. I can offer telephone support or even travel to you in order to give you my opinion about the company, ways to sell it, and things you can do in order to do it smoothly. I am fully independent, so I can be completely honest with you. So if everything's very rosy, I will tell you everything's very rosy. And if things aren't so rosy, I will tell you how to improve them so you can sell them better. I can be completely honest with you, which is what you need when selling a business. So contact me today on 0191 603 1490 or by visiting valueyourcompany.co.uk. That's valueyourcompany.co.uk on 0191 603 1490.